Good morning, Mount Olive Church and friends of Mount Olive Church. I said my recording was going there. Andrew Short here with you today. Filling in for Brother Matt and sharing my screen here. So hopefully you're having a good Wednesday today, and hopefully you enjoyed Brother Bill Dotson's message on Sunday. No, I did. Was glad to be there, and so just do a quick devotion on that this morning. I thought it was a really good message, good testimony there by Brother Bill, and enjoyed hearing his testimony and the things that God's done for him. And so I think the part that stuck out to me was just the term, I guess, God things. He used that kind of multiple times throughout his speech on Sunday there, and it's so fitting in our lives, and so easy, I think, sometimes to look over. Really, if you really sit down and think about it, everything's a God thing, right? We do things sometimes to make things hard on ourselves, but all of these things that happen in our lives are orchestrated by God, and we see it, I think, sometimes when it's big things. Brother Bill has overcome cancer, and we see it, and I guess we recognize it more when it's big things like that. But he's there in the little things too. And Brother Bill made that point, of talking about even in some of the smaller things, even some of the maybe not as big of events in his cancer journey, he noticed the God things. And so I guess my prayer for us today, my prayer for myself today, is to slow down and really see those things. It was just a quick story. We got home that evening and was at my mom's house and was kind of playing around in her yard, and Everly went up and got a drink and came back down, and just literally seconds after that, a copperhead snake goes across my mom's driveway right where she had just been. I mean, less than 30 seconds later. And so, you're pretty instantly, after going and taking care of the snake, you're pretty instantly thankful, and you're pretty instantly, you see God in that he protected her from that. And so, I want to do a better job of seeing that. Sometimes maybe it's something too, and Brother Bill mentioned this, maybe it's things that God keeps away from us that we never know about. One day in heaven, maybe we're asking him. I think Bill, that was what Bill said. One day in heaven, I'm like, tell me all these things that you've kept me safe from. And so I want to be thankful for those things, the big things, obviously, but more thankful in seeing God in all of the things. And so just want to end quickly here with a couple verses here from Matthew chapter 19. This is Jesus talking and having this conversation with his disciples, and says, "Again, I say unto you, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God." When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, "Who then can be saved?" If a rich man, at that time, the thought was, people that were wealthy had a better chance of getting closer to God than poor people, or that poor people were being punished, I guess, for not being as close to God. And so this was kind of groundbreaking for them. So they're saying, who can be saved? And so Jesus says, "But Jesus beheld them and said unto them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." And so we know that, I think, as Christians, we know that. We've seen it time and time again. Brother Bill being healed from cancer, all these things we've seen throughout our lifetimes, but we need reminders sometimes, don't we? Whether it's a little thing, whether it's something like saving, protecting our kids from danger, or whether it's maybe even a bigger thing like cancer. We need this reminder that God is in all things, and I want to be able to see him more in all of the little things in my life. So hopefully you do too, and that's my prayer for you. Hopefully you got a little bit out of this devotion this morning. I'm glad to share it for Brother Matt this morning, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and see you guys later this week. Love you guys.